Born to win. Born to win. Born to win.
Born to win.
Born to win.
So, Born to Win, let's talk about it. My 5th studio album. You know, first of all, let me say I'm just grateful and proud and honored that, you know, as an independent artist, I can have 5 studio albums and working on a 6th one. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. But Born to Win, the title really is real quick and simple. I always choose the titles for my albums. Like, it depends on where I'm at in my life. So no matter what I'm going through, that kind of will give me the title for the album, you know what I mean? So Born to Win was like, hey, I was in a place where I kind of felt like I was, you know, the enemy was trying to come in and defeat me. And I just had to be reminded by all of my scriptures and all of the word that was in me that, hey, I'm born to win. You know what I mean? I'm a child of God. I am his son, so I'm born to win. So when I start speaking that, and I start walking in that, you know what I mean, walking in the truth of that, that's when I start getting the victory in a lot of areas of my life. So, I mean, once I got that, and I don't know, it just came to me from somewhere like Born to Win, you know, and that's kind of how the title came. So, you know, Born to Win was just birthed out of everything that I was going through, and it was like that, you know, it was real easy for me. Yeah, the first song off the album, Cut From a Different Cloth. Man, I got this from the joint I got from some producers down in ATL. What's up? Big up to ATL, all the producers down there. I'm not gonna do no name dropping or nothing like that, but I mean, when I heard the track, it was just something ill, man. I heard it reminded me of like the 90s hip hop, you know, the old school, just that flavor, that boom bap, you know, and it had that ill grimy sound, and it was just something about it that I fell in love with, you know. And the moment I heard it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of artists can identify what I'm talking about. When you hear a track, it's like, and something is coming out of you, you can write the whole thing right there. And it flowed so easy, you know what I mean? But Cut From a Different Cloth, and the title came instantly. You know, it was something in my blood that was running in my vein. It was just really, really easy for me. And you know, that first line, back on the case, right in your face like a pimple ready for popping. It's that jaw-dropping saint, never ready for stopping. Get your flashlights out, cause I'm moving in dark places. It was just automatic, you know what I mean? So Cut From a Different Cloth is definitely a favorite of mine off the album. It may not be the favorite, but it is definitely high up there. So, you know, we just ran with Cut From a Different Cloth to be the first song on the album, because it's still, you know, I always want my albums to have that hip-hop feel. But then I wanted to have some definitely the whole element is praise and worship, and knowing that Christ is the answer to everything, you know what I mean, that we deal with in life. So I try to make sure that it still got that hip hop feel, but it's got that message, and the bottom line is Christ, you know what I mean. So that's for me, that's first and foremost. But yeah, Cut From a Different Cloth is ill. I mean, people love it. I get a lot of feedback from it. You know, somebody hit me up from overseas talking about it. It was amazing. I was at a cookout, and I was way somewhere in the country. At a cookout. I was actually at my mom's house, and shout out to my mom, Dukes. What up? But yeah, so we had some family and friends, and it was a huge event, and it was some people there that was from Germany. You know what I mean? All the way in Germany, and they was playing my album because they had like a DJ set up and everything, so they was playing the album. And so this little girl, she was like, I know this song. I'm like, word? How you know this song? She was like, cause back home they play it. I was like, this song? She was like, yes, this song. So shout out to everybody out there in Germany that's listening to the Cut From a Different Cloth. I mean, she said it was like something that was popping, and I'm like, you know, just that floored me, you know what I mean? I actually just had to go to the bathroom and get myself together, because it let me know that what I'm doing is not in vain. You know what I mean? Just being an independent artist, it don't matter. Your stuff still can reach the masses. So here I am, way in South Carolina, and then recorded a song, and it's all the way in Germany. But you know, we ain't gonna get into all of that, but that's neither here nor there. But that really touched my heart. So who did I collaborate on the album with? Let's see. Collaborated with quite a few very, very talented people. Definitely my brother, Pastor Artie Gaskins. He pastors a church in South Carolina, and he's kind of been all over the world phenomenal vocalist. He actually didn't really help me out throughout my whole career as far as like coming in and doing hooks, you know what I mean? But he definitely was one that I you know, anytime I'm getting ready to work on a project, I hit him up and be like, yo, it's that time, let's get ready and get busy. So, you know, I'll get a joint and I'll send it to him or whatever, email it or whatever. He'll send it back to me with all of his parts done, you know, just working bi-coastal. And that's the neat thing about the internet nowadays, you know. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing as far as the way the internet works, but I mean, you know, you can kind of get work done a lot faster. But another person I worked with was my sweetheart, my daughter. I worked with her on a joint. The song title of the album, Born to Win, she did that joint for me and it came out crazy. It's got an ill neo feel to it, and it's just, you know, she just singing the hook, Born to Win, because she has that real light, airy voice, almost like, what's the, Janae Aiko, I think that's her name. But yeah, I work with my daughter, and then I got a good friend of mine I work with. His name is Rob. Shout out to Rob. We did a joint called Blood. We'll probably be shooting a video for that later. But that was ill too. It's got more of a contemporary pop feel to it, you know what I mean? And I sent that to him. He hit me right back the same night. Was in the lab recording it, and I was like, wow. So, you know, shout out to Rob. He did his thing on that. Who else I worked with on the album? I got a joint from the internet from a man down in Atlanta. He did some incredible work for me by the name of Tone Jones. I think a lot of people know him. He's a phenomenal producer. He did a joint for me called Unconditional Love. It was crazy. So one of the joints I worked on was, it was a real near and dear song. It's called Right Where You Are. And I got my wife to collab with me on that. Everybody don't know that she's a singer. She can sing. She has a beautiful voice. And you know, I'm like, saying you gotta sing more, but you know, it's not her thing, you know what I mean? But she did come in the lab and she laced those vocals for me as far as like, you know, that song right there, Right Where You Are. So I worked with her on that, and that came out incredible. And that record actually did really good in Japan, and I think it was United Kingdom or whatever. But I mean, it was phenomenal. It was a heartfelt record, you know what I mean? It was one of those records that had a real big meaning to it, you know what I mean? No matter what you're going through, he's right where you are. So, you know, I just kind of like, every time I listen to the joint, it really touches me, even though, you know, it's been a while since we recorded it. You know, it's just one of those records that always have something on it, even when you listen to it 10 years later. The single off the album is called Moving On Up. And that's another joint. Well, that's the first joint that I got with my brother, Pastor Artie Gaskins, and he blessed it for me. You know, like I said, we did it bi-coastal. I recorded my joint. I did my parts in one studio, and he went to another studio where he's at. He did his parts. He sent them to me, and it's amazing how it all came out. You know, we had a joint mixed and mastered, and it was like, this is it. I mean, but the moral to that joint is like, it talks about, the first verse talks about a guy who goes to prison, who makes a bad decision in his life, get mixed up in the wrong things. You know, everybody know the whole story, but you know, he ends up getting out and, you know, doing well or whatever, and he's moving on up to bigger and better things in his life. So, you know, the record just came out real phenomenal. We actually shot a video for it too, and the video is dope. You know, we worked with Rich Count on that. Rich Count came through and they did the whole video for us and everything. And shout out to Rich Count, shout out to my man Demetrius Richardson. He definitely did some crazy stuff with the video and helped me get it out. And you know, just big up to those brothers who you know, helped do that stuff. I mean, we was on a skyscraper, at the top of the skyscraper, shooting a video, and it was like, wow, it was just a surreal moment, you know what I mean? But moving on up, it came out. It was a dope song. It was a single. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it by now, but definitely if you haven't, definitely go to YouTube, iTunes. It's all over the place. Tidal, check it out, and you know, you'll definitely be blessed by it. But moving on up is the joint. It's got that neo feel, and Tone Jones did the track down in Atlanta, so he definitely blessed us on that. And you know, my favorite song off the album, if I put the album in and I had to listen to it, I probably would listen to I got a lot of favorite songs, I mean, because every song deals with a different subject. It talks about different stuff. But if I had to say, one of my favorite songs would be Born to Win, because my daughter's on it, but not just because she's on it, but it's because it's the title song of the album. So that record is really powerful, and it's really dope. It's kind of representative of who I am. It's so laid back, you know what I mean? But the message is like grimy. It's not grimy, but it's like real touchy, you know what I mean? I'm just like shooting those darts at you. So, you know, I kind of like that feeling of the record, you know what I mean? And the track is just crazy. It's once again, it's got a neo feel to it. Still got the hip hop feel to it, and it's real mellow, so it reminds me of me, you know what I mean? But yeah, Born to Win off the album is definitely my favorite song. My favorite record off the next thing up for Dramatic. The next thing for me is just working, you know what I mean? Working on albums, working on another project actually right now. I'm trying to decide if I want to release an EP or if I want to, you know what I mean, go ahead, because I've never released the EP. I've always released albums. So if I do release something, it may be an EP, or I may just wait and just release an entirely new album. But definitely in 2018, we're gonna be having some new music for you. You know what I mean, some new videos, some new interviews and everything like that. Gotta keep it going, gotta keep working. So just be on the lookout for definitely some new music from Dramatic. And that's it, you know, just working. I'll see y'all at work. That's what Denzel said.
I really was, y'all. It was something in my blood that was running in my veins. It was something in my heart that always set me apart. It was something that was on even when I was off. Let me take them out from a different cloth. Yo, let me hear your war cry.